Good Monday morning and welcome to TWINN number 46. This week in Nerd News, where in 5 minutes or less, I'd love to share with you just some top stories that we need to be paying attention to. Now, even though last week started out by showing us that there were some overall good trends, it seems that in less than a week we've lost those positive trends as threats are now growing larger than ever before. This first one is a $240 million ransom against a retailer that doesn't operate in our geography, but it's noteworthy because this is by Hive Ransomware, which is extremely dangerous. And these guys are very effective at using phishing as the initial hook into networks. So beware of Hive ransomware operators. In this next story, our team received this hoax that Brian Krebs reports on, and after a momentary shock of our own, quickly wore off when we realized that things didn't add up. And so the FBI has updated their statement as to what happened. So it doesn't look like it was a big compromise, just an outgoing email server of the FBI's that was compromised and is now taken care of. And here's a public service announcement from our friends at Ars Technica that Apple isn't actually patching all the security holes of older macOS versions. And this, serious macOS users tend to stay on the latest version anyway, but there are a lot of people who just use their Mac as a tool, right? And they don't care about being on the latest and greatest. And so if you're staying a version or two behind, this is of great concern. And you may just be forced to stay a little bit more current for security's sake. And we have a story about this company, ActMobile, that has exposed lots of IP addresses and email addresses. What's amazing to me is how large the retail VPN industry is. But in reality, the only way to make a VPN actually give you the value that you should be getting is to either run your own infrastructure or have someone that you trust run your infrastructure. Increasingly, we are seeing that retail VPN providers are not trustworthy. And in our last story today is this malware that deploys Godzilla, which is a very powerful web shell. And a web shell allows a compromised server to be remotely controllable. It's becoming industrially important for all of us to understand how the persistence works in terms of the attackers having access to the inside network. And to prevent that, it's been traditionally extremely difficult to achieve. But this is just a reminder today that with zero trust, it is absolutely 100% preventable to have that hook inside of a system that reaches out to the criminal. And did you know that the Pentagon's zero trust cyber office is coming in December? Woohoo! And it won't be a moment too early. Looking forward to that. See you again next week.